What's going on, it's the Rap Nerd, and we're here today to rank the Fear Street movies on Netflix. Now, I love this franchise. I love all of these movies, so I'm gonna start there, and I'm down for more of them because I always enjoy a well-produced slasher, and these are all definitely that. Of course, quality varies. So there are only 4 movies, so let's go ahead and get in here and knock this out. At the number 4 spot, obviously, is Prom Queen. I think that this movie is the most mid-range out of them all, but again, I still enjoyed it for what it was, though it doesn't take much liberties to do anything different from any slashers that we've seen before it. But because it is prom, it is very seasonally specific, and it'll be part of what I watch annually around this time of year. I really love the costume. That red rain jacket is very noticeable alongside the grotesque mask and the weaponry the guy uses. I think that part is cool for me. It even offers some pretty fun kills like the paper cutter joint and the wood shop kill, which I've already seen hit social media and people running with, so I do like that. And I also like a little bit of mayhem that it has because it takes place on prom night. But other than that, like I said, everything is forgettable and pretty plain for the most part, but still enjoyed it. So the number 4 spot for me is Prom Queen. So at the number 3 spot for me is Fear Street Part 3, 1666. And this really is at the bottom just because I'm not a fan of the period piece of that time. That lingo for me tends to make my mind wander off when I hear that old English, but it's not bad at all. I don't want to say that. It's just a personal preference for me. But I really love how they explored the lore of everything and how the curse of Shadyside started, and how they bring it to the present time in '94 and put those two things together, showing us who is the person behind all of the terrible things happening and who's connected with the witch of Shadyside. Then they bring it back to the mall and go on to have a supervillain melee using that blood to spray on all of them. I thought that was pretty damn cool as well. But again, it's the one that I watched the least out of all, but still love, especially for what they did with the backstory. So at the number 3 spot is Fear Street 1666. At the number 2 spot for me is Fear Street 1978, and I'm gonna say that I think that out of all of them, this is the best movie of the 4. I think that it is a well-executed late 70s slasher flick, especially taking place at summer camp. I love all the performances in the movie, and you get the stereotypical character types that you would get in the summer camp movies, but really the biggest stickler for me is the lore of Fear Street and how you have a killer that is created out of the curse, and you can kind of see this dude like start out normal, and over time he starts to develop this craziness that ends up changing to this axe killer. And once it happens fully, you are all the way there and into it. My only small gripe is I wish that the killer would have had the headpiece on longer and earlier in the film, just because I think that is such a subtle but cool look for a killer. I think Sadie and Emily do a very great job of being those sisters that love but also despise each other, and use the grief to be the bridge of why they aren't connecting. And even the way that it throws you for a loop, because we've seen Sadie's character in 1994 and they build it to make it seem like she was Cindy, but in real life she was Ziggy. And I don't know, that could just be me being slow, but I 100% assumed that's who it was, and I felt like the movie was trying to hide that. But yet again, it provides a great backstory to what 94 is and what we saw in that movie. This is one that I watch every summer because I loved it so much. So with the number 2 spot is Fear Street 1978. At the number 1 spot for me is Fear Street 94, and I'm just a sucker for 90s slashers, and I feel like this movie provides those vibes really, really well. From the score that sounds a lot like something from Scream, to the opening sequence being a lot like Scream, having this extreme death that takes itself seriously. I love having different types of killers all in one place. Like, that is a very unique thing to a slasher, to have like paranormal slashers literally that you really can't kill, but they're coming for you for specific reasons. And it just really tackles all of the things that I love. Again, that 90s vibe. The locations are all perfect hunting ground for the slasher. And it offers some kills I don't think I've seen before. I mean, putting old girl through a meat grinder the way it did, her whole body went through, I was like, holy shit, this is nuts. And I also like the soundtrack being uber 90s the way it is, having many different types of music that I grew up listening to, so that was also a plus for me. This is a great back to school slasher that puts me in the mindset of how it used to be going back to school. There are even a lot of glimpses of fall and Halloween being hinted at. Some portions have pumpkins, and I just love that type of stuff when it comes to a slasher movie. So that's a little bit biased just because it's kind of what I prefer most as a slasher, so I'm gonna have that one as my favorite, but I'm not mad at it because I love that movie. So like I said, number one for me is Fear Street 1994. So that is my ranking of the Fear Street saga, and if they do not align with yours, this is no disrespect in any way. Let me know in the comments what your favorite movies are, and let me know what the ranking is. And of course, if you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, thank you. And until next time, peace. Rap Nerd Productions, no capping, that's word to mommy. Instead of banking on it, now rapping is just a hobby.